Hello and welcome to another episode of the Weed and Wrestling Podcast live stream here on Lash.
On the Pod Goddess.
Goose.
Goose. I hope not. Goose dies in Top Gun.
Que será,
But
será.
tonight we're just going off the cuff. We're just free balling, free basing, and shooting. No drugs, but we all said those terms in at one point, and I felt it prevalent to say it. um, Otherwise, there hasn't been too much news since Tuesday. Now, Tuesday we talked about the whole AJ Styles thing. I guess we'd like to get your in take on it, Lanaya. Like with the misuse of AJ Styles, is it a work?
I mean, they've been misusing him for like years now, so I think it is a work because he wouldn't magically just be upset about it.
Yeah.
It's how
Well, the fact that he brought up his buddies and Michin and just the nonsense that went on with them too. Part of me, and the fact that they didn't air it. That the fact that they didn't air it, that's what's kind of making me think that it's a work, especially in the fact that they still recorded them while doing it.
yeah, because they're doing that record stuff like we don't know this is happening, but they spread it online thing, like we don't know it's them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It has to be a work. It has to be a work because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in general. So
Yeah,
I mean,
and go ahead.
I mean, if we think about it too, though, AJ's been in WWE for years now. Before that, he was TNA mainstay. Um, there's not much else for him to do. He's been around the world. He's got so many titles. Why not make this a work? Why not? They weren't doing anything really significant with him. So why not say, you know what? Let's do this. Let's mind fuck everybody and make them think that you're unhappy. That I mean, yeah, maybe we haven't been using you the right way, but maybe this will, put the spotlight back on you. Because no matter which way you go, AJ's always been a talented wrestler who delivers, and he delivers bangers of matches. He's great on the mic. So
Yeah, and it kind of falls back to if this is work, then who are they working towards? Who's the person in the back that doesn't want them around? Um, and and is it a wrestler? Is it Triple H? Are they trying to do some sort of like blend of like backstage heat and that? I don't know. Um, but I think ultimately what should have happened with his feud with Dom is that Dom should have won the first time, AJ should have won the second time, and the third time should have been Dom again. But he used dirty hand means and tactics to beat him.
yeah, because
Um,
already done. So I
and
mean,
then that would have made Dom a two-time champion. And then that would have also gotten AJ, because I think the IC title is the only title AJ is missing from being a Triple Crown.
I think they could have done anything else. I mean, you know,
Yeah, well, that's the that's kind of where it's at. Is like he's being it's let's have him go up against El Grande Americano, whoop El Grande Americano's ass, and then have him cut this off air promo. Um, because let's bring light to the fact that we've been misusing them, and let's make a story out of it.
You know what? Because it's all over online, and whether they say it, like whether they keep saying we don't go online or not, they're taking a whole bunch of stuff that you constantly see online and making a
They
storyline.
totally do.
So,
They totally do.
I mean,
Remember last year with Kevin Owens and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So,
they lie constantly
about everything. So, like,
yeah.
Well, the other thing you have to consider too is that some of these wrestlers that WWE has are getting older. They're getting up there in age, and it's just like a racehorse. You know, once you reach a certain age, you got to be put out to pasture. And I'm not saying that AJ is ready to be done, but you have younger talent. You have younger talent that is coming up that deserve some kind of spotlight. And unfortunately, you have some wrestlers. I'd hate to say this, but like Ric Flair, he was past his prime, just putting on matches, and you know he wasn't performing the same way he was 20 years ago. You know, but because of his status and his legacy, they kept him on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On the regular stream, I've been saying AJ Styles needs to retire. His time is up. I've been saying it for months now. So I'm just blatantly going to say he needs to retire. His time is up. His body's not the same. He's not reacting the same. You know, and there are a whole bunch of really good new talent that needs to replace these guys. So I've been saying it. He's done.
And I think that there's some bitterness as well with the fact John Cena is getting this big showcase on his way out when AJ's contract is up in 2026.
Yep.
And, you know, he's already said that he plans on retiring out of WWE. So there's no going back to TNA and finishing out in TNA unless something changes.
Yeah.
And really, does he need to finish out in TNA? He should get a good run, the one last run in WWE. He deserves that.
A lot of people did and never have, and a lot of people will never get the runs they deserve, and we know this already. So, that's where we are.
Hopefully, it works something, you know, and something decent. But with their track record as of late, it's, you know, nothing is working into nothing. You know, let me tell you about.
At this point of the game, I mean, AJ's.
I was going to say, let me tell you about Monday Night Raw. Now, here's a trick question to it. Which Raw am I talking about? Because that seems to be the fucking cake and batter. Let's get those two into a fucking tag match somehow. Against who? Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's take our most misused wrestlers, LA Knight and Jey Uso, and let's have them start feuding and bring back heel Usos because we need that.
I mean, why not? I mean, listen, the way they did Jay, you know, and taking the title from him after 2 months, it still feels kind of dirty to me. They really did him wrong. They should have given him a longer run with the title. I've said it from day one. But you know, if they're not going to do that, why not? Why not make him the heel? Make him go up against LA Knight and have them actually have banger matches. You know, they both can perform, and I think they can both highlight each other in the ring.
Yeah, but then that it goes on to another end there where what other than those two making each other look good in the ring and carrying on this feud for like a month, maybe two, what are they ultimately going to get out of it? Are either one of them going to end up getting a title shot out of it? And if they do, are they going to end up winning?
Probably not. Probably not. If they haven't given LA Knight a shot by now, I don't see him getting a title anytime soon. Unfortunately, as much as
they've given him shots, just not real ones. He's been in title matches. He's been in world title matches, I think, 4 now.
Yeah, but they're not putting the belt on.
Roman Reigns was his first one. And then I guess he's had 2 against Seth. So 3, I guess 3 title matches.
Nah, unfortunately, I think it's the fact that the roster is too big. While they do have a number of shows, you can't feature all your roster. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And especially since they're on a 2-hour time slot, let's say with Raw, and they're only putting on maybe 3, maybe 4 matches, and the rest is all talk. Guys, I want to watch wrestling, not Days of Our Lives.
Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, a big part of wrestling is the storyline, but they could definitely work in a lot more wrestlers if they didn't do the showboating thing constantly. The roster's too big, but they can work in more than like the normal 7 that they use. Well, like they're 18 different shows. Come on.
And these promos take too long. They all take way too long.
And a lot of them have no point. Like,
yeah. And they end up taking up so much time to get to an outcome that we know is going to happen. I kind of want LA Knight just to pull something that he's been doing lately and breaking the fourth wall and just being like, do we really need to say all this bullshit? We're going to fight tonight.
Well, I think I said it last week where I'm sure you guys remember from way back in the days. If not, you probably have seen old school tapes where the promos were the 2 wrestlers were on the side of the wings. You had Mean Gene Okerlund, Hulk Hogan. Tell me what you're gonna do. Hulk Hogan, what you gonna do, brother? Macho Man, what are you gonna do? Ooh, yeah, step into a Slim Jim, and that was it. And they went and they wrestled. The promo was maybe less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, now it's maybe like 2 or 3. I think. Yeah, now it's a whole 15 minutes, and you have 4 or 5 people coming up into it, and then whenever you do have an interview, like if Jackie Redmond's about to interview, you can guarantee that interview is going to get interrupted. Guarantee it every time.
Different people.
Yeah, the only interviews that she seems to finish without interruption is the ones that she does up in the stands, and most of the time those aren't even like fully featured on TV. And those are the kind of old school promos that we want. And it's missing. It's really missing. Because nobody gets to develop their individual characters. Even the tag teams, they don't get to develop a personality as a tag team, to the point that they sent DIY back down to NXT. Fucking thank God. That's how nonsense a lot of the writing has been lately, to where nobody's getting real character work. At all. No real character development. Like, why would Drew McIntyre, of all people, end up hanging out and liking Logan Paul? Like, it worked. It worked because Drew can, he can wrestle paper bags and he can fucking cut a mic on nothing. he can cut a fucking promo on just his pinky, and it'll be funny. He'll be so mad at that pinky that you'll want to hear him talk about it for like 3 fucking minutes. He seems to be the only one that does like half of a promo like that, but then he always gets interrupted too. Just interruptions, false finishes, interference. Boy, oh boy, Ted Turner must love it.
The good old days. The good old days.
Like, is Judgment Day supposed to be like the closest thing that they got to the NWO? Because they've been going on for so long, and there's been so many members. Which thankfully they've cut out them doing like longer like promo spots. Like their shit's only. Like
I will say this.
And they don't get interrupted.
I will say this about the Judgment Day. I do like the fact that it's a core set of performers. It's not half the roster. You know what I mean? Like back when the NWO, it was like, okay, who's left from the WCW roster that's not an NWO member?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, I think even Gilbert was a NWO member.
I hope so. If not, that was a missed opportunity. Anytime that you're not using Gilbert is a missed opportunity. Gilbert. I love
All
that.
right, so what else can we cover tonight? That's Lucha Libre related.
Did he go by Bill Gilbert?
I have no clue, bro. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a true appreciator of WCW until it was way too late. I grew up WWF, and that's where I stuck. And it wasn't until my later years that I was like, holy
Gilbert
shit.
Was on WWF.
Who?
Gilbert. He's talking about Gilbert, not Goldberg.
Okay. I don't know.
Google.
Y'all know what I meant.
No, he's talking about Gilbert. He was in WWF. Google him, since you don't know what he's talking about, because now you need to know what he's talking about.
I could have sworn he was in WCW.
Goldberg was in WCW.
Goldberg.
Okay, never mind. I need to smoke some hash.
Hey. All right.
And because I can't do that because of work, today's show is brought to you by W.GG. For those moments where you can't smoke weed, get your energy on at W.GG.
That's right. Get the bucket out. Because it's in a bucket, isn't it? It's like a little bucket container.
Yeah, so
It's a tub.
WGG. You were saying you talked about Lucha Libre. I am not as familiar with Lucha Libre. I'm sure as you are.
That's kind of racist there. Just because I'm Hispanic, I you know what? To be honest, I never got into Lucha Libre until my later years. So I mean, like I've gone back and watched
because you brought it up.
Well, that's why I'm saying it was a pretty racist comment, but it's all good. It's all love. But I mean, I've gone back and watched some of the older tapes, and I remember watching like Psicosis and El Perro Aguayo and all that, and it's incredible how different the wrestling is down south of the border compared to American wrestling. American wrestling, if you look at it, it's evolved. you can't deny the influence that Mexican wrestling and Japanese wrestling has had on American wrestling. Because American wrestling, if you look at it back in the 80s, was all strongman. It was all bodybuilders. It was all body slam, suplex, pile driver. But now it's evolved to include high flyers and acrobats and daredevils. So you can see the influence, because you got what? You have like 300-pound, 400-pound guys doing like moonsaults and shooting star presses off the top rope, which was something that was unheard of back in days of King Kong Bundy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny that like you have brought up to how you didn't get into WCW. For me, the Lucha Libre wrestlers and the cruiserweight division is what got me into WCW, even before the NWO. Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, La Parca, Chris Jericho, like that whole division, Dean Malenko, like that whole division was just littered with great wrestlers, and that at WCW and Eric Bischoff especially, he's responsible for bringing it to America like that. And good on him.
Yeah, and that was definitely something that made WCW stand out in comparison to WWF. Like I said, you had these massive brawlers.
Even before the NWO.
Yeah, you had these massive brawlers that were like barroom brawlers, and then you had the technicality and the finesse of the cruiserweight division in WCW, and that had to have really influenced Vince to say, you know what, we need a lightweight division.
Eventually it did, but it didn't end up doing too much. And it was more, they didn't really do it till like, they did it a little bit with the light heavyweight championship and Takamichi Noku. He held it for a long time. Oh, there's Will.
You're
Hey,
right, Will. Hey,
what's up, Will?
We were talking about Lucha Libre and WCW, and how WCW brought Lucha Libre and the cruiserweight division to America, and how like that was the standout before the NWO, like that, like back during the wars, like I pretty much knew the first 15 minutes I was gonna end up watching WCW because they were gonna open up with some of the cruiserweights. Okay. So I would always catch their opener first. And I think if Vince catered to anything, I think he made his openers more promo based for the first 5-10 minutes. So that way it would kind of cross over into that to like, well, do you want to see the story over here, or do you want to see the wrestlers go on WCW? And it's like, I'd rather see them wrestlers.
Right.
There's so many good ones that came from there, and Rey Mysterio is probably the GOAT of all that.
Right.
What hasn't that man done? I think the only thing he hasn't really done in WWE is
won the world title.
Huh?
You said Razor Ramon?
No, Rey
Mysterio.
Oh,
Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I think the only thing Rey didn't do is King of the Ring and Money in the Bank. I don't think he's won either one of those.
Right.
Otherwise, he's done everything else and put on some of the greatest matches of all time. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio Halloween Havoc. It's a legendary match for good reason. They don't miss a single step that entire match.
That is if you're gonna educate anybody on wrestling, on lucha libre in general, that's a match you go to. That's easily top 5 in anybody. If anybody's a real like lucha libre fan, that is the one. That was a clinic.
Yeah, and and you got tons of those on the openers on WCW. I mean, it was just every week, every single week. It was just, and sometimes they book 2 of those matches in the start, or occasionally have a triple tag. To which triple tag team that is definitely more of a Hispanic lucha libre thing.
Yeah, you just reminded me of, you said triple tag team match. You just reminded me of a 3 count.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up with the cricket? You outside?
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, the crickets are getting loud out here.
They're barking everything, like.
Yeah, they're putting their 2 cents in, is what they're doing.
Yeah,
they got opinions.
Mostly mating.
Hey, on next week's episode, wrestlers who crossed over into the adult industry.
Oh Jesus.
Oh God, that's a good topic.
Yeah,
it is.
You're gonna do hours and hours of research.
For me?
Yeah, why not?
No, I don't watch pornos no more. I can make my own. I don't need to watch it.
There you go.
I don't need to watch them no more.
Yeah, that's wouldn't even be in my forte. I barely watch.
I volunteer as tribute.
All
right, you do the research on that, Gus.
I'm not going to embarrass my parents anymore tonight than I have recently, so I'm just not doing this.
I did not understand what you just said.
I said I'm not going to embarrass my parents any more than I have recently, so I'm not commenting on this topic.
Who Lanaya?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lanaya retired. She retired.
Yeah, the whole division of lucha, and I'm glad that and so far they haven't messed with the AAA logo.
But you know that's coming
to mess with it, and so far they really. I'm hoping that it's little fuckery.
It's gonna be major fuckery. That's what they're waiting.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming.
Mm.
But in the long run, listen, does it really matter if a logo is changed so long as the product stays exciting and fresh and you know and they're delivering good shows?
Look at Cracker Barrel. Yeah, you know, they changed the logo. It was World War III. You know, so it happens. You change that. Like, listen, if you change the Nike logo, all hell is going to break loose. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if they changed the Jordan logo. What's going to happen?
Well, I mean, look at the spokesperson or the design of the Aunt Jemima bottles. Everybody went apeshit when they said, no, we're no longer doing that.
Yeah, we all know why they got rid of that, though. That's just, we all know that.
Yeah, and not for nothing, but that the family that person that bottle was based on, they were making money off of that.
Yeah, but that wasn't really the real logo.
No, they weren't. They never got paid. The family.
That wasn't the real logo. That wasn't the real logo. That wasn't the real logo. That's not the real logo.
What's the real logo?
Look it up. Look it up. That's not it. You look at the original logo. That's not it. I'm gonna share it on the group chat.
And that family's still in court.
I'm going down the rabbit hole right now.
Yeah, that's not the real logo. She had to sue for that.
Yeah, we're shooting. We're shooting. Argue over the Aunt Jemima League.
Huh? that and Uncle Ben's. So I don't know what's going on with Last Shot.
The Crickets got him.
I don't know, man. We went from wrestling talking about damn pancakes. That's something, baby. I don't know, man.
Because we were talking.
Well, no. I see
Y'all,
what you're
y'all
saying.
must be hungry, man. Y'all go from wrestling talking about pancakes, man. Y'all must be hungry.
Well, bro, you never went to a wrestling show and then went to like, IHOP right afterwards.
Nah, I went straight home.
But now I see they changed the actual person. It was a different person in the original logo. It was, I hate to say this, but she looked more like the character that they based on. Sorry, she looks more like the person that they based the character that was in the Tom and Jerry cartoons. You remember the Tom and Jerry cartoons where they had the black owner?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. So the original logo for Aunt Jemima, the original spokesperson or character, or whatever, looks more like that character, and they updated it to a more, I guess, white friendly. I hate to say it that way, or more socially friendly character.
The original lady was chained to a table when they did the photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot behind that. But yeah, the family never made money. And wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to change that AAA logo, and that's the thing is if they can keep the product the same, but then there's also like, the AAA fans aren't exactly happy with Vikingo being champion right now. I feel like that they almost have a little bit of a Roman Reigns kind of situation there going on, to where they had him pushed onto him as a face so much that now people hate him.
I mean, bro, here's the thing about wrestling. Whether they're booing you or they're cheering you, either one is great. The problem is when they don't give a shit about you.
Right.
Yeah. 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 I mean, hopefully with that label change, they're able to keep the product good. That's the, but it's never just a label change. It's never just, we're just going to tweak this right here. That's it. Otherwise, we're going to leave your product just well and be. No, we're going to fuck with it.
Well, I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. I take for example, years ago, I'm sure you guys all remember this, when Disney purchased Marvel. Okay.
Right.
Everybody was making jokes. Everybody was like worried that Marvel was going, that DC was going to, Disneyfy everything, that, Daredevil was going to sport Mickey ears, and they're going to have a Donald Duck Spider-Man or whatever it was, right? For the most part, Disney has said, all right, here's money, produce your movies, do your thing. Change one or two things so that it's not overly violent, not overly, like, we don't want nudity. And they've left Marvel for the most part alone.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. They've been following it until they bought Fox. I mean, 21st Century Fox, because remember, not Daredevil.
Deadpool.
Deadpool is rated R.
Yeah.
So, so they, they definitely had to change that up.
And that was a smart change for them to make. They made fucking bank off that movie.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know what? It's kind of like when WWF bought WCW. I wish they would have kept it in two different entities. I think it would have been better like that instead of like putting it under one umbrella.
That was definitely the biggest problem. Also, they had the problem with the contracts.
Right.
That all their top wrestlers were getting to sit out for a year because of their guaranteed contracts. So, if Vince was smart, I would have like cherry picked guys. I think that from there that could go over well, and then I would have just been like, "Hey, you guys find your own thing to do until next year." And then we're gonna do this massive storyline.
Right.
If he would have just waited 1 year, he could have had the greatest storyline in all of wrestling.
Well, one of my close friends actually mentioned, because we were talking about that, like I think last month. He mentioned what should have happened, or what would have made a little bit more sense, was have Vince. Yeah, he could silently buy out WCW, right? Just keep it under wraps, keep it hush hush, and he could fund WCW to keep going, but he implements the changes to improve the product, to improve the wrestlers that he's bringing in, and WCW would have still been possibly they could still sell as their rival company, right? Because
they would have had to cut it down. That's the thing. They wouldn't want to put a ratings juggernaut in a fight against himself. That's losing money two ways. So he would have had to scrap Thunder and whatever and Saturday Night on WCW and just have it be Nitro, and it would have had to move it to another day. And then it would be obvious because the internet was around at that time, and there's no way Vince would have kept that silent.
It wasn't as prevalent as it is now, the internet. So people would have had to dig a little harder.
I mean,
yeah, but not really. Because it was relative enough then. I had a computer and internet. I got my tickets when I was in high school on the internet, for WWE events and music events and shit like that.
But like drama and stuff like that wasn't as prevalent, so you might not learn those things because that's a different aspect of the internet.
Yeah, and not only that, but if you look at it too, if you look at it too, right? Back in the early days of the internet, not everybody had a cell phone camera. Not everybody could hook up their phone to the internet. Not everybody had access to, let me upload my pictures, let me videotape this and put everything online. And then everybody had, holy shit, Hulk Hogan's making a comeback. Holy shit. This guy just
no
got
way
fired.
that Vince would have kept it contained, though. There's no way Vince would have kept it silent.
Right.
It's Vince McMahon. Even if he would have kept it silent, there would have been a noticeable change in the WCW product because they would have had to gut and change the schedule around.
That's true.
And then WCW would have ended up becoming the C tier program to Raw and SmackDown, because then it would be taking the already roster of WWF rejects and then dwindling them down even more to what you're just going to have the NWO run on just one show. At that point, the most prevalent fucking group that makes WCW.
He could
But
have
and
done
look what
so
happened.
much more.
And look what happened with ECW when Vince tried to make it independent in itself too. It fucking sucked.
If Vince would have quietly bought it, he could have done the crossover that everybody wanted, and that alone would have made so much money. So, like, there's ways he could have worked it if he would have quietly bought it and not dissolved it in the way he did.
Yeah, like if you think about the Invasion, I think Invasion 2001, it was just a mock off for what the NWO did versus WCW, because we all know Kevin Nash started in WCW, but he was more known for WWF.
Mm-hmm.
Come back. So what Vince did, technically that wasn't an invasion plot. He just built on that. That's all he did. When they had the
Exactly.
invasion plan in 2001, he just built from it. But if you ask
And
me,
that's the thing is he built onto that same plot without the key characters.
right. So to me, if you ask me, the best invasion plot was Eric Bischoff's idea. I hate to say it. You gotta give a credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody he had in NWO, like the original players, was in WWF, except for the Giant and what's this guy name? Buff Bagwell. The rest of them was in Scott Norton. The rest of them was in WWF.
True. Mm-hmm.
So ain't
Yeah,
call what
but
it is.
that's the reason why the whole story, fell apart. You didn't have enough mainstay people, and you had two companies. Right? It was too many cooks. You know that shitty video? Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Have you ever heard it? It's a terrible video. Watch it.
Like you remember the invasion plot, right? With Austin, he turned on the WWF. It's kind of like he went back home, because where did Austin start at? He started with WCW.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of went back home. Like if you study this legacy stuff, if you read into this, it was predictable back then. We joke and we laugh. Oh, this shit is predictable. It was predictable. It was predictable way back then, way back when.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold. You knew he was going to turn on Vince. You know he was going to turn on Vince. That was just obvious. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Paul Heyman was his one of his mans, and guess what? He wrestled in WCW. He was in ECW for a short period of time. So somebody, nobody should have really been surprised that he went back home.
Yeah, and that wasn't Austin turning heel and turning to them wasn't the worst part of that story. It was the fact that they needed Austin to lead, to act as leader to this invasion. If they had just waited a year, they could have had the original NWO. They could have had Sting. They could have had a lot of other people that would actually be able to carry that invasion storyline, other than Lance Storm. And God love Lance Storm. He put on some really banger matches during that whole invasion angle. He probably wrestled the best out of anybody during the invasion angle, but he can't carry his story.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely true. Lance Storm was the truth.
But it's Stone Cold. It was when Stone Cold originally turned heel. That was the end of the Attitude Era. To me, that was when Vince and Stone Cold shook hands. To me, that's when the Attitude Era.
I mean, I think if you ask Stone Cold, I think that was probably one of his worst decisions. You know, just going back, you know, turning heel inside with Vince, because his whole career we know that, you know, he's against authority. You know, that you sit there inside with Vince, so it kind of was. And again, I don't think that was Vince. I think that was all him. He just wanted to try something new.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't think Vince will come in and say, "Hey, yo, I want you to turn." Because let's call this Stone Cold wasn't. We can't sit there and say he's not a heel. He's an in-betweener. Yeah, he's an in-betweener. Let's call it in.
Yeah.
He wasn't no face. He's an
enigma.
in-betweener. He's an in-betweener. Well, he's an in-betweener. He ain't no fucking superhero. He's an in-betweener.
Anti-hero.
Anti-hero,
yeah. That's the thing, though. In wrestling, you have to reinvent yourself sometimes. You can't keep the same persona because it tends to become stale sometimes. You know, some wrestlers are lucky enough that they find their niche and it sells for years on end. I mean, look at The Undertaker. The Undertaker has the same basic character. He's a dead guy, with the exception of a couple of tweaks here and there, and that major switch where he became the American Badass. He was basically the same character with a couple of tweaks. So he was lucky to find that character. But you have guys that need to change every now and again. Otherwise, the crowd turns against you and they don't like you anymore. I mean,
I don't think the crowd was turning against Austin. I just think he wanted to try something new. I think that's all it was. No crowd was turning against Austin. Hell no. I don't think nobody ever booed Austin until he turned, until he sided with Vince. That's when people started booing. Even people were still cheering, to be honest. But again, that was just the wrong character switch.
Yeah.
And what I didn't like, they you know, Austin made himself a pussy. That's the thing I did not like. I did not like that. That, you know, if I can tell Stone Cold to his face, he'll probably whip my ass. You was a pussy when you was, when you went on this different road. You was a pussy. I hate to say it.
But that's
whipping
just
his ass, throwing him through a fucking window and shit. Like,
but that's just it. He needed to change his whole persona for that particular role. You know what I mean? In the beginning, when he was Stone Cold, he was this anti-hero who was up against, against the man, didn't like authority. He went against the grain. Now, as the heel, he has to add those elements of the bad guy, of the people that no one likes, the one that sneaks behind your back and stabs you in the back. He's got to implement those characteristics. Otherwise, he's just playing the same character.
Yeah, but all right. So if you're using that example, Austin was always like that. Even when he was the anti-hero, you couldn't trust him.
I was about to say,
DTA. That was his thing. DTA. You know, don't trust anybody.
Even
that
when
was his main thing.
Sonny Steve Austin, he still had the same type of attitude. He just had different hair and a different way about it, but he always had that same.
Yeah, like Austin. Listen, you know what I mean? You know how many people was mimicking Stone Cold and they got suspended from fucking school and shit? Him and DX caused a lot of fucking suspensions.
Yeah, man. Try giving the X.
I remember my boy in high school. He told some teacher to suck it. He got kicked out of school for 2 weeks.
Yeah, just picture some kid doing the X to a teacher.
Yeah, he did that to his fucking teacher. Kicked out.
That's what we saw all the time back in the day. That shit wasn't really weird.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're going to you have to adopt certain characteristics that would not be in your norm if you're going to turn heel. If Roman Reigns, right, went heel again, he's gonna have to adopt some characteristics that are not like his character is now. Or Seth Rollins, he's playing the heel right now. Right? If he goes hero, he can't have the same characteristics as he is now. He can't run away from a fight. He can't back out. He can't run around the ring. He can't have his goons come in and save him. He's got Seth Rollins. Like I'm saying, if you're going to adopt those characteristics, you have to adopt the characteristics of a heel versus a hero. Remember, as a hero, you have a straight line that you can't really like veer away from. But with a heel, bro, you can get away with murder. Okay, I see Animal Crackers. Is that Appa? She's trying to bring the peace with food.
Yeah, heel characters, they gotta act like pussies in situations. As with the territory.
Yeah, I just like I said, I just think when you give like when people fail to realize, right? Vince catered to The Rock, he catered to Austin, he catered to them two in The Undertaker. It was them three, right? To me, those was like the A players, right? Triple H was more like the B, all right? So he slept with Stephanie. If you want to put him in the A, yeah, you could, but I won't. But he listened to what Austin told him to do. If Austin came out and said, yo, you know what? I want to be I want to be a heel. So Vince went with it. And The Rock said, hey, I want to be a heel. He went with it. But if it was like one of these BC type players, Vince didn't listen to them. We all know that's true. We all know that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that's true. You know,
and that's because they made Vince the money. They brought in money to Vince.
Yeah.
The lower roster guys, they weren't as big money makers.
And I hate, I hate to say this though, right? Triple H was he was, to me, like he was Shawn Michaels' understudy. You know what I'm saying? It took for Shawn Michaels to leave WWE for that period for Triple H to get his shine. We talk about what this curtain call, right? That he was supposed to be the next man up. We don't know that. That's just talk.
Yep.
If Shawn Michaels would have stayed that full course, I don't think Triple H wouldn't have been that big. Austin and The Rock, yeah, they would have been that big because the crowd was like going for it. I don't think Triple H would have been that big. Triple H's biggest break was when Shawn Michaels left. That was his biggest break. And his room was okay. Yeah, he's Vince's son-in-law, so he got that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, his biggest grace was sleeping with Stephanie.
Yeah,
like
you can't say that. I mean, I'm not going to.
Why can't you say that?
Listen. I won't say. Listen. I won't say that. I will say that. I think with Shawn Michaels leaving, I think that was his biggest break. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. That was his biggest break. Because like, we just discussed it. DX was very entertaining. They was very entertaining, right? People telling teachers to suck it. You know what I mean? Fights people. We're gonna say this again. Telling teachers to suck it. You telling women, guys to suck it. That started fights. You know what I'm saying? It took for Shawn Michaels to take that break for Triple H to get that big. I don't think him sleep. Yeah, you can sit there and say him being Vince's son-in-law played a role in it, but the fans was really craving Triple H when he was doing this degenerate stuff.
They craved DX.
Go ahead.
They craved DX. It's DX they crave. It was that whole attitude, I don't care thing they crave. Triple H by himself didn't do anything significant.
Are you
nah, not you.
This is what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Why you do this every podcast? Every time you say something controversial. Like, come on, man. You sounded. I think I'm having a bad taste on you for real. Like, come on now, man. You saying some ridiculous stuff.
Here's ridiculous stuff. Here's my 2 cents on it. Did his relationship with Stephanie help him? Yeah, it probably did. There's no denying that. Okay. Did Shawn Michaels break from WWE help Triple H? of course, the light shined on him more. But that man worked his ass off. He's earned titles. He was one of the leaders in the back. He's one of the most respected guys in the industry today.
Yeah.
And yes, there are people who hate him. That's with anybody. Anybody who gets that big, who gets a leadership role, who's running a company, there are going to be people that hate him. Listen, for anybody who works a 9 to 5, do you like your supervisors all the time? No. Sometimes you want to wring their necks. You want to like Spartan kick them down a flight of stairs and let the chips fall where they may. The thing is, regardless of what you think, Triple H is definitely in the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. He's definitely done a lot for the industry. And yes, you know what? He's done some dirty shit. Yes, he has. It's documented. But you can't say that he hasn't done nothing, that he wouldn't be in the position that he's in now if he didn't put some elbow grease on that. And yes, you're right.
I
you're
disagree.
right. And yes, you're right. Hold on. Yes, you're right that if he didn't have that relationship, he might not be higher as he is now. And if he didn't have that spotlight shined on him, but he worked his ass off. It's documented.
No, I was feeling everything you were saying, but Triple H's name is no Mount Rushmore. Now, we need to cut that out. He ain't no Mount Rushmore. He's not no Mount Rushmore. But my thing is this. I'm not going to sit there and say the man wasn't relevant. I can't believe Lanaya said that. That makes no sense. He wasn't relevant with DX?
Even beyond DX, he's relevant.
Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, listen, no, Triple H blew up when he was with DX. I give you that. But to sit there and say he wasn't relevant with DX, that I don't understand what we was watching. I don't know what you was looking at to even say that. Go ahead, you can talk. Go ahead.
I don't have anything else to say. That was my statement. I stand by it.
No, if that's what you think, I mean, if you're trying to get me upset, it's not working. You
trying to
sit there and say that. I mean, that's
Opinion.
just ridiculous. To say that is ridiculous. Like, seriously.
My opinion.
Huh?
It's my opinion.
All right, that's what I'm saying. I disagree with that.
Sleeping?
Huh?
Is Lash sleeping? Like, what's going on over there?
No, I'm here.
No,
I think he's enjoying the show. I think he's enjoying the show.
Yeah, I'm just letting you all go off.
Listen. No, seriously.
Yeah.
I would like to know why you think Triple H wasn't relevant with DX.
No, that's not what I said.
No, that's exactly what you
That's
said.
not what I said.
Okay, go ahead.
He didn't really blow up, and he would not have blown up until Sean left DX.
That's what I said. I said that.
With Stephanie, with Rob's relationship with Stephanie, he wouldn't have reached any of these heights without either of those two things. If any of those two components didn't exist, he wouldn't be the person he is today.
Okay, so
He got no shine for DX because Shawn Michaels was the leader. Triple H was his little friend.
No, we agree with that. Doesn't Undertaker got a high position in WWE? I think Undertaker held down that back room more than any wrestler.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
No. I'm just using that. No, I'm using that as an example. So did he sleep with someone in the McMahon family?
That's not what we're talking about.
Here we go. I'm giving facts, and you cutting me off once again. You don't need to. Hold on, let me finish. Can I finish? Whoa, can I say something? You don't really need to sleep with someone to move yourself up in WWE. If Undertaker did it.
But Triple H did. See my point? But
Triple H was really relevant. He was really relevant. Like, what? I don't understand that.
See, again, you're just mad about my opinion. I'm
not mad at your opinion. You said he wasn't relevant. That's what I'm upset about.
All right. So here's.
You said he wasn't relevant. That's what I'm upset about.
Listen, there's no denying. There's no denying that by Shawn stepping aside and Triple H's relationship with Stephanie, there's no denying that did help him. But you can't say that he wouldn't be relevant without those two factors.
Facts.
Sure, yes. Those two factors did help him, and he's probably higher to some degree, but he would still be high up on the when you're talking about.
Whoa. So if Shawn Michaels did not take a break, you think Triple H would still be that high? He wouldn't be relevant at all. He wouldn't be relevant if Triple H was still there.
Listen, I think Triple H would still be high. I think Triple H would still be respected, and he still would be as legendary as he is today. That's my personal take on it. I'm not saying, like I said, Shawn Michaels stepping away definitely gave him more of a boost. I agree with you, but I still think that he would still be up there, not as high as with Shawn stepping off and Stephanie, his relationship with Stephanie, but he would still be up there.
He'll be up there, but I will put him as a B player. I'm not gonna put him with the A players. You know what I'm saying? I would not put him with The Rock and Stone Cold and The Undertaker. Those are the A players. He's like a B plus. He's like a B plus, brother. Let's call it what it is. I would not put him with the A's. No, if Shawn Michaels, God forbid he did not have that, I would not put Triple H in the top A. We said that in my introduction, and I'm pretty sure Lanai is going to agree with this. If The Rock didn't get hurt, John Cena wouldn't have been that big. That's facts. So you're telling me that Triple H, when it went over Shawn Michaels, The Rock, and Stone Cold, if they didn't have no injuries whatsoever, if The Rock didn't take Hollywood, didn't go the Hollywood route, there's no way in hell they was putting Triple H over them. No way.
I don't completely agree with you. Listen, like I said, those are factors that definitely came into play. Those are factors that definitely affected his standings. But I still think that Triple H would be at a high level. Not a B. I'm talking about he would be in the top in the top like A game wrestlers.
I can't give him that. I'm sorry. I can't give him that. I literally, because if you all right, so if we, because I want to know what Ryan got to say, because it look like he about to fall asleep on us with the crickets. But my thing, my thing is this, right? Hold up. My thing is this, right? Hold up. My thing is this, right? They bought WCW. They bought WCW and ECW. They got a new set of A players in the mix. Triple H is not better than Rob Van Dam. Triple H is not better than Lance Storm. Triple H is not better than Chris Benoit. All right?
Oh, wait,
God forbid if Owen Hart was still living, right? I definitely would put Owen Hart over Triple H. Triple H is not better than Chris Jericho. So to sit there and say he's with the A's, I don't think so. I'll put him as A-. That's the best I will give him, Gus. I'll give him an A-, man.
An A- is still an A.
I'll be generous.
An A- is still an A.
No, it's not. Not in my household, brother.
An A- is still an A.
You an A- means you wasn't good enough to get an A.
Exactly. If it wasn't A+, don't show them. I don't know.
I can't. Listen, you can't sit there and say that if Vince bought them companies. I can't put him on the same breath as someone that's a Lance Storm, Chris Jericho. I can't. Or Chris Benoit. I can't.
I'm not arguing technique. I'm not arguing technique. Yes, there are better wrestlers, like legit mat wrestlers. There are better wrestlers. Like you said, you have Lance Storm, you had Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, you had Just Incredible. You had all the
good call out. Yeah.
There are definitely wrestlers who are better with technique, with moves, I'm not going to deny that. But if we're talking about the WWE product, Triple H was it. He had the size, he had the look, he had the mic skills. He was come on, think about it. Back in the day, right? Back in the days, wrestlers had maybe like 5 moves. And they punched and they kicked, and maybe they did a leg drop, or maybe they did an elbow off the top rope, right? If you look at wrestling way back in the 80s, and it didn't start developing into what it is now until maybe the 90s, the Attitude Era.
But if you're talking about size, right? I can't believe we talking about men's sizes here. So I'm not on wood here. Him and Val Venis was the same size. You know what I'm saying? You had meat, same size. So if you're going on that metric alone, they should have been the A players. I don't hear the crickets. I think Ryan did something with them, but you know, to sit there and say we got opinions though. But my thing is right, and that's why I love being on this show every week, right? But to sit there and say that Triple H he's not an A player. I give him an A minus, and I'm being generous. He's not no A player. He never was.
He's an A player, bro. He's an A player, and it's more than just. Bro, it's more than just in-ring performance. Look at the things he's done. If you look at some of the stuff that's been documented backstage, he was one of the few wrestlers. Listen, if he was one of the few wrestlers that actually learned every single job that everybody had, from the camera guy to production to planning out shows. He went to all these meetings. He was invited to do all these meetings. You know what I mean? So he learned the business not just from an in-ring performer's vantage point. He learned it from the boss. He learned it from the managers. He learned it from the supervisor.
Okay, well. So didn't Bret Hart somewhat learn the business through his father, right?
Goddamn dungeon.
The dungeon, right? So if we using them kind of examples because he was a camera guy, worked himself up. Come on, Gus, you better than that. That don't mean nothing. You giving him an A because he worked himself all the way up? Come on, man. Come on, Gus, you better than that, brother. Come on, man. So that's like saying when LA Knight win the world title, you gonna play him as an A player?
Well, he's still too young for me to actually see what he's doing to give him that kind of rating. He's big right now, without a doubt.
Yeah, he is. I think he should win the world title.
Right. I said that plenty of times. They're playing him right now as far as the world title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They playing him. They playing LA Knight like PlayStation 5 all night long. Like, let's call it what it is. They playing him like Grand Theft Auto 6, and they ain't even come out yet. That's how they playing him. But my thing is this: Triple H is not no A player. He never was.
I damn sure don't think that. So,
huh?
I damn sure don't think that. So,
who
is Last trying to talk? What's going on here?
Yeah, Triple H is not no A player. He's not. I give him an A minus. That's it.
Well,
I can vaguely hear you.
Can you guys not hear me?
Vaguely.
I hear the crickets, but not you. Now I hear the crickets.
That's weird.
I just heard the crickets.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Vaguely. You're in and out.
I'm in and out.
You're in and out.
That's what I'm trying to say. Triple H is not no A player. He's not.
He's not even a B player in my mind. So.
No. Now you take it away too far. I give him an A minus.
I think Lanai is just trying to get under our skin.
No, I always have this opinion. You guys have had this reaction before I said it.
The thing about Lanai, she has high standards. She relates everybody to Sting. Everybody's related to Sting in her book. So it's like I can bring up a random wrestler like Brooklyn Brawler.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, he's not better than Sting.
I can hear you.
Every wrestler you bring up is Sting. It's Sting. I'll be like Val Venis. He ain't better than Sting.
I'm trying to establish if you can hear me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of. Yes. Are you hearing me? No.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me.
No.
So you can't hear me. All right, I'm gonna leave.
All right. Well, listen, it's about that time for me. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. For those of you who had tuned into this little tirade between myself and Will and Lanaya actually throwing a couple of jabs and instigating our
that's just my opinion on Triple H.
No. We gonna finish this.
Oh, don't worry.
Ain't no end to this. We gonna finish this. We gonna finish this. No, not at all. We gonna finish this.
We'll continue on a part 2. Unfortunately, I have a boss to answer to.
Oh yeah.
All right, listen. I'm gonna pull a heel. And be like, listen, I gotta go.
We gonna finish this.
We'll finish it. Listen, we'll finish it. If you want to have a part 2, we'll have a part 2.
Yeah, we gonna have a part 2 with this. Now we gonna have a part 2 with this.
All right,
Last
no doubt,
is
no
the
doubt. Listen, I'm
Well,
all for it. I'm all for it. Listen,
Hey,
at the end of the day,
I'm here.
We gonna have a part 2 with this.
he's here.
Can
We
you
gonna have
hear
to do
me?
a part 2 with this.
We can
Okay,
continue
no
talking
problem.
about this with Lash. Me and
No
Willie.
problem.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can
Can
you
you
guys
hear
hear
me?
him?
Okay,
I hear him.
Great. Holy fuck. It was obviously having some technical difficulties. Anyways, it was funny that you brought us wrestlers with 5 fucking moves and you brought up Triple H same fucking sentence. Yeah,
That.
talked about a wrestler with 5 fucking moves.
He has less.
And he totally got the way that he got. One, because Shawn Michaels was gone,
We said that.
and 3, I know, and 3, because he knew how to fucking just do the bare basics of being a fucking heel, the bare fucking basics. And the only reason that he's had good matches is because of the people that he's been in the matches with. Him and Cactus Jack, really fucking great match. Why? Because it was fucking Cactus Jack. He's a fucking B- at best.
Nah, I give him A-. I give him A-. You gotta credit him for being the leader of DX. You gotta credit him that. He made it entertaining. I'm not going to sit there and take that away from him.
Yeah, he
but
did.
You sitting there talking about he's up there with Stone Cold The Rock. I disagree with that.
I'm not.
I disagree with that.
I'm not saying that. He's a B-.
No, I said that.
He's an A-. He's an A-.
And I stand by it. But with that being said, listen,
that.
Yeah, he's got to go.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I have to go. I have a boss to answer to, so I'm going to play the heel and back away.
Yeah, Tuesday.
But anyway, tune in next time.
Yep. See you.
All right, guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease.
All right.
See you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen. You can't sit there and say, right, that Triple H was trash. He's not trash. But to sit there and call him a B-, I disagree. I give him an A- at tops. But he's not up there with like Bret Hart and all them. If you talking about on mic, he was good on mic. If you talking about
that's why I don't throw him into the A category.
Yeah, I give him an A-. I'm giving him an A-
to me. Al Snow is a B+ to me, and Al Snow is a better.
Al Snow deserved a push, and he
Al
never
Snow is
got.
not better than Triple H. Now it kind of seems like you're just hating on the man now because of his moves that's going on now.
As a wrestler, he's way better.
Who Al Snow better than Triple H?
I agree.
But as a wrestler,
physically as a wrestler, his sets and everything, I agree.
Who's teaching most of the up-and-comers that come out of OVW and has been doing it for fucking 20 years? Fucking Al Snow has. Al Snow. He's literally the teacher to fucking Randy Orton, fucking John Cena, Dave Bautista, Brock Lesnar. He taught all.
That's good that you say that, though, right? That's good that you say
all
that.
Of them.
You hate CM Punk, but CM Punk trains Seth Rollins, though, right? So we giving credit to people that training people, but CM Punk trained Seth Rollins, the same dude that got the world title, but he's trash as a wrestler. Al Snow is not better than Triple H. That's no, he's not better than Triple H.
The wrestler he is, not as an overall character, and not as an overall character. As a wrestler, he is.
I agree.
And the other thing is that you gotta when it comes to I give credit and in bank was here, thanks buddy, thanks buddy to him, to fucking be like, here you go buddy, here's the title back, I only got it for a couple minutes. Of course the teacher would do that. Have him up on the come up. What's he really needed for? So I respect him for that. I just don't think he's a great wrestler.
Here we go. Here we go. Like, here we go. We're
already there. We're not going anywhere. We're there.
Here we go. Y'all already there.
Yeah,
Oh my
you brought
God.
him up.
I
You're the
really
one
just
who
don't
brought him
understand
up.
it. I really don't.
You
I really
brought
just
him
don't
up.
understand.
You brought this whole thing up. So here we go. You started it into the fucking car in the driver's seat.
No.
And then
I'm
we're like,
giving
"Hey,
examples.
take
No,
the wheel."
whoa. I'm giving examples. You sat there and said because somebody trained somebody that's giving them a higher ranking. That's what I gave him CM Punk. So if we play in that game, will you put William Regal at? Oh, I'm real anxious to hear this one.
William Regal, he's an A.
I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
When it comes to wrestling, he's an A.
Yeah.
He's put on a lot of consistent good fucking matches. It's consistently. Love him.
He's from that generation where basically there was a whole bunch of greatness, though, too. So
And he was a part of that, and still on wrestling and the wrestling business. He's trained a lot of people too. That's why I would put him at an A. He has a lot more influence, and he's a better wrestler than a lot of guys when it comes to actual wrestling. When I think of actually good wrestling, William Regal definitely comes to mind.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Even his worst match was his match with fucking Bill Goldberg, and it's because he made Bill Goldberg work.
He carried Goldberg in that match.
he did.
Yeah. William Regal's fucking fantastic. Thank you for bringing him up.
Yeah, I'm glad we all agreed on something.
Yeah, because Lalaya, every time you mention someone, oh, this person ain't bad in this thing. Oh, this person ain't bad in this thing.
I didn't compare anybody to Sting. You did that.
No, you did, not me. You did that.
You did that. She didn't even bring up Sting. I couldn't speak at that time, and I could hear you.
I'm talking about past podcasts, not tonight. It's times where she brought up Sting, like Sting had nothing to do with it. She'll bring it right up.
Only when it was necessary. Sometimes it's necessary.
I'm sorry, Sting is your GOAT. I'm sorry. I won't be surprised if I'm Bam next week because I'm taking shots at your beloved Sting.
Jesus.
Don't nobody care about you.
All right, cool.
Make it
I don't
something out
care
of
about
nothing.
you neither.
Making something out of nothing.
Look, Bret Hart. Nobody taking anything personally.
Who's taking that? I'm just calling facts.
But yes, I do compare a lot of wrestlers to Sting. Why? Because I grew up watching Sting. He's the first wrestler I fell in love with.
Okay, I just think that's bias. I think that's bias.
I compare a lot to Shawn Michaels, even though I don't bring it up a lot. I like Shawn Michaels. He
everybody's biased. That's what I have opinions about.
Yeah,
that's why we have opinions.
Yeah, I don't,
It's wrestling. We're allowed to have opinions. Fuck.
Yo, it's fucking stupid, son. Yo, y'all, I don't know, man. Now I'm gonna get off topic, man. When you think about Paramount buying WWB, you think A&W gonna be in trouble?
I don't know. If anything, that would open up more opportunities for AEW, but that also brings like if Paramount buys Warner Brothers Discovery, that means HBO, Showtime, Stars, a couple.
Paramount, I forgot. Yeah, Stars, CBS. Yeah. Oh,
CBS,
shit.
TBS.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, along with the.
That's a conglomerate. Yeah, the feds may stop that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I was about to say it just
That's a
looks like
monopoly. Yeah, they may stop that shit, bro. I
they're
didn't even
coming
think
back
about
together
that.
like it used to be. They got sued for doing this before, but they're trying to do it a different way with streaming. Like y'all doing the same exact thing. Coming
Yeah,
together.
Yeah.
so you're gonna have Showtime, Cinemax, HBO, and yeah, that's the
Cinemax is
monopoly. They're gonna
different.
stop that shit, bro.
But
Think the Feds is
Cinemax
gonna
is a
stop it?
different company. They're not
who's better
relevant
streaming
anymore,
right
though.
now, though?
Who?
Cinemax.
No, Cinemax is owned by
Cinemax.
yeah, it's HBO. That's it. I mean, it's just a sister HBO channel.
Yeah.
The only time I watched Cinemax was back in the day at 11:30, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now you
Cinemax.
know them channels. Y'all know them channels.
Yeah, we talk about it often.
Cinemax.
Yeah. Oh, to be young again.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Beverly Hills, Bordello. Yeah, Cinemax, 11:30. I remember that show.
Yeah, the best was back when we had Ray Daniel.
Yo, you know what's so funny? Like,
Putting it on
yo,
the
I'm not
channel and grabbing the cable and fucking, like jiggling around like to make the screen like look a little clearer.
yo,
But
nah,
jiggle it this way, I can see the movies clear.
you know what's so funny? Because one of my homeboys, he had like he debated me for like a good 20 minutes. And he said, "Yo, Willie, you think we getting robbed with Cinemax?" I said, "HBO Max." He said, "What you mean?" He said, "Look, there's no real sex. There's no Tales from the Crypt. Like, why is that not on HBO Max?" I'm like, "Yo, that was a good argument." I'm like, "Yo, Tales from the Crypt. I could see real sex not being on there. Let's call it what it is, right?" But to me, I get more excitement watching the Disney Channel. You know what I'm saying? But for Tales from the Crypt not to be on there, to me, that's a travesty in itself. Hopefully, Paramount, if it goes through, will change that.
A lot of these titles, the way they're diversifying and breaking it up, it makes it they'll like sell it to like one of their sub channels that you didn't even know was a part of it.
Right.
So it will end up on like TBS or Pluto. I mean, just what the fuck? But they're all a part of the same company now. So that's the biggest problem. You can find it. You just got to search their circle of companies to be able to find it, if they own it. If they don't own it, Netflix might own it. Or another streaming service may have the license for right now. It's just become so complicated,
I guess this is almost a reaction because with Netflix getting WWE, that won them the streaming wars.
Yeah, yeah.
It single-handedly won them the streaming wars. So now I'm thinking that all the different streaming companies are just looking at each other being like, well, let's team up. Let's team up and put all of our eggs in one basket because that's a pretty big basket. Because now Netflix isn't even operating out of debt anymore. I think they caught up on their debt.
I think streaming should be a lot better. And I'm not talking about wrestling, but I'm talking about all these shows, right? I got Disney Plus, right? To me, I never said this on the chat, but one of the greatest cartoons that Disney ever produced is not on Disney Plus, that being Aladdin. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the greatest series ever made. It's not on Disney Plus whatsoever, right? You go to Peacock, right? Saved by the Bell, Hang Time City, it's not on there. So these streaming companies need to get a lot better, and it needs to get a lot better. With ESPN taking over WWE, I hope that they get the full library, the full thing, no edited version, the full real deal. Because a lot of the stuff that Peacock got is edited.
When Aliens Earth is done, I'm canceling my Hulu and Disney Plus subscription because there's nothing. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is done for right now, and Alien Earth is about to end in like 1 or 2 weeks, and I'm gonna cancel my subscription after that because Disney Plus has nothing coming out right now that I even care about. I can't remember the last time I really watched it.
But and you know what's so crazy? I don't want to bring this up, but WWE didn't get clearance to play Voodoo by Jimi Hendrix for Hogan. That shit is blacked out. They play the NWO song every time he comes out. So that is one Lania's laughing too, because that's good for his ass. But my thing is, like, when you stream something, I want the real deal. I want the realness. I don't want no shit edited out. It needs to be the real shit. Like, I can watch a movie, right, on Tubi versus Amazon. Same movie. It's a different version on the streaming networks. Yep. And I don't understand how that works, but it is. Streaming is not what it is. It needs to get better.
Now there's been petitions of people complaining about South Park's episode featuring Charlie Kirk.
They pulled it.
Apparently, it's back on.
Oh,
like apparently they're keeping it up.
Okay, I know they pulled it earlier.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I don't even want to bring that in this chat though, right? But if you're gonna do that for him, do it for everybody else. My favorite idol, one of my idols growing up was Kobe Bryant. I damn well cried. He died in the Simpsons episode with the fucking helicopter, right? They're not taking that shit off. So why is he exception to the rule?
Yeah,
because I wonder why. I wonder why.
The censorship that they're trying to do. It follows along with the police state and censorship that they're trying to do. That's where it starts.
That is still on there. Like, if you talk about the whole thing with the when they raided January 6th riot, the Simpsons had that cartoon character. Same exact shit. That shit is offensive to a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to live that moment. It's people dying and shit that died over that. Guess what? You know, they didn't block that from the Simpsons. So again, what makes him the exception to the rule?
Yeah. Because Paramount Plus is a bunch of bitches.
Yeah. What makes him the exception of the rule? It's messed up what happened. I don't wish death on no one because there's no coming back from that. But my thing is that what makes him the exception to the rule?
It's because the leaders that make the rules are biased. Because bias. Bias.
What is that? The animal cracker?
The animal crackers.
Which one?
Stu Leonard.
Yeah, Stu Leonard's got some good shit. I need to go over there. That's like a direct competition where I work at.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I shop at competitors.
Indeed. Well, it's about 10:03 here. So
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. So I think we can wrap it up. I don't know how you guys feel about wrapping it up.
Yeah, you can consider an argument next week with us about Triple H.
Like Ryan, you watch the show Martin. Yo, I swear to God, she reminds me of Pam. Yo,
Pam was sexy. I'm happy with that comparison.
Huh?
Pam was sexy. I'll take that comparison.
But annoying too.
Yeah. Pam could join the team.
Annoying and fucking loud for no reason.
Oh.
Here we go. All right, next week, Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy some oyster mushrooms. I'm gonna make some oyster mushrooms like next week, fry them up.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
Yep.
But
all right.
thanks everyone. Like, share, subscribe.
Thanks everybody. See you next time. Awesome. I think that was riveting.
He was upset.
I said it about Triple H before and he got upset. I'm like, fuck it, this isn't going anywhere. It's time to amp this up.
Yeah. That's why I just sat back. I was just like, I was like, I'm just gonna let him go off because he doesn't